board to order at 7 o'clock. Please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for February 11th. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Moved by Gray, seconded by McCann. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Chris Crayforst, our Conservation Climate Adaptation Director for the 2026 Town of Hull North Nantasket Beach Management Plan adoption.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, would you like me to record the full meeting? I guess you don't have to, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no need to.
We'll
'cause-
just have everyone remote, you'll have a few remote participants,
Yeah,
that's all.
Let's
Okay.
record the whole thing. It's on TV and recorded there. You're on, Chris.
Thank you. I do notice that there are two members of the Beach Management Advisory Committee, and I'd actually just like to turn it over to them.
Hi. So we're really happy that we're here tonight.
I'm sorry, Susan, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Susan Mann, I'm the chair of the Beach Management Advisory Committee. This plan has been a year in the works, probably a little more than a year in the works. We've been waiting for it for a long time. We really needed a new plan, so we're really happy that this is before you. I know you've had a chance to look at it. I hope you approve it. We're looking forward to having it.
Thank you.
Okay.
The other Susan, do you want to add anything?
No, Susan Short Green. I'm also a member of the Beach Management Advisory Committee. Susan summed it up well. And just so you know, we've worked through all the issues that we discussed earlier, and we've made all our final updates, and we're really, really excited to have this plan adopted by
Great.
the town.
Well,
Thank you.
on behalf of the committee, I'd like to thank you both for the work that the committee put into it and working with Chris and his folks. And Chris, thank you. I know it's been a long, tedious road to get to this point, so thank you. Anything you wanted to add to it, Chris?
So the document is current, it's dated today, and it's online. It's easy to find, so it's either on the Conservation Commission page or the Climate Adaptation Department's page, and will be soon on the Beach Management Advisory Committee page as well.
Great.
So that's where that document is, and you can download it. It's a PDF, and if you want to print it, feel free to do it.
Great, thank you. Any questions, comments from the board?
Could you go over the maintenance part of the beach plan? I think that's probably the number one priority in the town.
Actually, that's a very important aspect. So the beach management plan is where the operation and maintenance for North Nantasket Beach resides within, and it exists as a permit as an Appendix D. So the beach management holds that permit, those operations, and I can speak to a couple of things on that. That's before the commission actually right now. We're still waiting for Natural Heritage to provide any special conditions they want on that piece of the beach management plan. So what the O&M plan is seeking is the residents wanted to have cleanup on the beach of debris. And it's really important to understand the distinction. What does it mean by debris? And that's pieces of plastic, man-made material. Debris does not include seaweed. That's wrack management. So the O&M plan speaks about how are we going to manage taking care of those. And so that's outlined also in the O&M plan. Again, that's before the commission, and that should be decided soon, the details of those pieces. So for instance, we have a click fix today. Somebody's saying that there's a huge piece of log in the dunes that need to be removed. The O&M plan has that procedure permitted. We're not quite there yet, but we're weeks away, I think, unless we have a huge issue with the state natural heritage for plover management.
So are there any other approvals once we sign off on this? Does the state or CZM or any of them?
No, this is, the town owns this. This is the town's, it's intrinsic and it's been developed within, and this is what we've asked for. Staff and the Beach Management Advisory Committee and other state agencies have weighed in to make sure at least what's being captured in the beach management plan is consistent with regulations. And that's why we've got a piece that needs to be revisited under the permit every 3 years that stands by itself in a way as an O&M plan, but it is part of the beach management plan. So in 3 years, those proceed. So as we go through, hopefully our first recreational season, we'll have these pieces in place, and we're going to learn as we go. So we've outlined, we are outlining them. The commission is conditioning those. In 3 years, by law, we're required to go back before the commission. And if there's issues, then those will be brought up and addressed in that frequency.
Great, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
So can we apply in year 2, so it doesn't overlap like I think it happened last time? The plan that we had in place expired. Is there a plan on the second year to start the process so it's, it's continuous as opposed to a gap that we had the last time?
I guess that's up to the town how frequent they want to revisit the beach management plan. Again, the real interest, and I think what a lot of people are, and I shouldn't speak for the grand public, but I think what my experience is, hey, what are you doing on the beach? We have a problem. How are you cleaning this up? Are you addressing this? We've got seaweed, we've got actually seaweed issues that's developing now. How is the town developing it? That's going to be in that permit. And that is regulatorily gauged. Does that make sense?
Yep, to me it does.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Chris, first, thank you, and Susan, thank you for your work on the beach management plan and all town departments that were involved with it. But I think, and I know we've explained this before, but maybe, and I'm kind of hearing it in the thread of some of the questions, if you could just explain or a little bit more about how the state agencies interact with the town, the beach cleanup, and the beach management. And I think it really hinges in part on the shorebird management, the plovers, because I think that there's still some uncertainty or confusion about, well, we weren't permitted to, we say we're not permitted to do certain things, and how we've kind of gotten from the original beach management plan to the beach management and operations management plan that we have or will have momentarily and shortly.
Yeah, so I think sort of the recent history is we've experienced sort of a growth of a habitat change on the beach that's now regulated, different from how we used to. So back, I forget when the first plover showed up, Susan, when was that? 2014, 2012, in that. And so, this became mapped as protected habitat. So there's a whole set of rules that go with that. And, we are in continuous engagement of practices that happen on the beach that result in potential challenges to the regulations. And so we had to revisit those. So we had a beach management plan. And the reason why I asked the Beach Management Advisory Committee to speak was because it began as a local citizen concern. We didn't really have management on the beach. And we didn't really have much in the way of regulatory, I'd say under the regulatory microscope, if you will. But we did have some instances where our practices on the beach did raise some issues. And then we were forced to address this formally. So that's what this process is. The interactions we have today, we're still actually, I think Nantasket Beach is unique in the sense that it's very highly developed residential adjacent, beach that's adjacent to highly developed residential and used in that manner for recreation. We have a beach that's becoming one of the more significant beaches in terms of plover habitat and plover use. So that conflict of use is something that's new, I think, with the agencies. And I feel like we are a little bit of an experimental ground as to how to do that. We've tried to manage with the natural heritage concerns in mind. We did it piecemeal. We were only permitting access through the paths to the beach. But we had all of these other things that we were running around trying to address, and how do we do this while working with the agencies? And so the beach management plan, it became clear that we could do this. So let's permit, and let's not do this piecemeal. Let's not have DPW contact conservation for permission to remove an old tire truck that's emerged from the beach, or like today, how do we grab the poles out of the dune? So that's what we've done. We focused in and said, no, we've got a permit. The state has to approve it, not only the local commission, but DEP, essentially. If the commission approves it, most likely DEP is supportive. But then we also have to accommodate. In this case, I think the only other state agency, well, a little bit of DMF, a waterways program, Chapter 91. So any activity that's done below high water mark requires weighing in with waterways. We've done that. The only agency that's left is Natural Heritage. We should have a response back real soon. Jen, I don't know if that got to your point.
I think you covered everything. Does everyone have any questions?
No, thank you for your work on it. Again, yeah, thank you for all your efforts.
And so you have a resolution before you?
Yes.
Oh, I
Let me
sent it
read
back.
it.
You'll read it for me?
Oh, no, you can have that.
No, no, no,
You've only got a few whereas.
You're getting off easy this time.
Oh, yeah, this is a certificate of adoption by the Town of Hull, Massachusetts Select Board. This is a resolution adopting the 2026 Town of Hull North Nantasket Beach Management Plan. Whereas the Town of Hull established a beach management plan to manage the natural resources of North Nantasket Beach for recreation, habitat protection, storm damage protection, and flood control, and whereas duly noticed public meetings were held by the Beach Management Steering Committee and the Beach Advisory Committee for public input in the plan's development, and whereas the Town of Hull authorizes responsible departments and/or agencies to execute their responsibilities demonstrated in the plan, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Hull Select Board adopts the North Nantasket Beach Management Plan 2026 in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 4, or the Charter and bylaws of the Town of Hull. Adopted and signed as of this date, March 11th, 2026.
Take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Gray, seconded by McCarthy. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Send this over to Jen.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the zoning board of appeals applicants. We had 3 applicants. Originally, one withdrew her application today. So first on the list is Philip Ballone. If you can introduce yourself, tell us a little about you and why you're interested in the zoning board of appeals.
Well, I'm on the zoning board of appeals now as an associate member. And I'm moving up to a voting member. And the reason I love this job is because we're here to maintain the integrity of zoning in town. And of course, there are some people that need minor alterations. And we approve them if they're reasonable, especially if there aren't any neighbors opposed to it. And if there are people opposed, we let them speak. Because that's, after all, they're people in the neighborhood, so we have to listen. And lastly, what I found is that we have a great tool of negotiating with applicants. If they're needing some help on the closeness to a property, we can ask them to just reduce the building a tiny bit to make it even better and safer for both parties. So negotiating is a very important tool, and I've learned that. And I'm here to serve the town. That's my primary interest.
Thank you. Any questions?
So just quickly, so what do we have, one seat open, or?
We have one permanent and one alternate seat.
So
and
we
have
got two people?
We have two applicants.
Okay.
Do you have the dates of,
I don't, but I can get those for you.
July 1st, I think.
Oh, thank you.
He was the one that interviewed.
This is outdated, though.
I think so.
But it should still be July 1st, right?
So Mr. Balone currently holds the alternate position, and then there's an additional alternate position available, and then the permanent seat that's also available for appointment.
Okay, and
And
the term is?
The
full
vacant
term?
seat would expire June 30th of '28.
I think they're actually, this, might-
Actually,
oh, I think this might be,
You're right.
it's missing Rebecca.
You're correct.
Um,
Sorry, June 30th of '26.
The permanent is June?
Would run through June 30th of '26.
Okay, and then we'll be up for reappointment at the end of June. And the alternate?
Through June 30th of '27 is Mr. Balone's
Mhm.
current alternate seat, and then June 30th of '26.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Any questions? Any other questions?
Well,
for
I
Mr.
do
Malone?
have one.
Yeah.
Just hopefully in the near future, the HRA will be doing something. I guess my question to you is, can you remain neutral in decision-making in that area?
I believe that I don't have any decisions to be made in that area that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
The HRA was authorized so many years ago to do, and hopefully they'll do some good development. I'm not opposed to all development, I'm opposed to bad development. And the town, as you know, is the fourth highest density rate in the Commonwealth. And every time something is built, that rate gets higher. So we're less and less affordable, as you know. But that is not my purview. My purview is neighborhoods, integrity of the zoning, and that's my job, and I'm gonna do that for the town.
Thank you.
Any other questions, for Mr. Balone? No? Great. Thank you. Anthony May? Is Mr. May here?
He's up there.
Oh, is him muted? Mr. May, can you hear me?
He's muted anyways.
We have, okay. Mr. May,
Nope,
can you hear me?
we're
Can you
muted.
hear me?
Muted.
Are we muted?
Try again, Erwin. He's.
Okay, Mr. May, do you hear me? I guess not.
Yes, perfect.
Yes, oh, okay. If you can take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us why you are interested in the Zoning Board of Appeals and what you would bring to the committee?
Well, my name is Tony May. I'm a property owner, 1145 Nantasket Ave. I've always been involved in communities that we've lived in. In Milton, I was president of the Milton Rotary Club, and I did county member. In Dover, for 29 years, I was on the Park and Rec Commission and other community involvement with coaching. I didn't know much about those positions when I took them, and I'm sure that, you know, the select board, it's a learning process along the way. I know a little bit about the Massachusetts Building Code, the 40A and 40B, and especially the Section 6. We were looking into raising our own house, that's why I know about it, and FEMA regulations, but something that I know from my background is just consensus building and things before the Zoning Board of Appeals. It seems like the abutters will always have an opinion that might be different from the property owner, and some consensus building is a necessary skill. So I bring that to the table, and I'm willing to learn more about the process and the way to achieve movement forward. So do you have any specific questions?
Do anybody
Well, if
have
you
any-
want to pass on my same question. Anthony, did you hear my question I asked Mr. Balone? Can you remaining neutral in future HRA decisions if there's development in the future?
I'm sorry, I heard part of your question, but not the full question.
It's just if you can remain neutral in decision-making with future HRA issues that may arise. The redevelopment authority.
Right, that's the biggest decision is the property that's now we're talking about, I believe.
Yes.
I have no agenda in that regard. I want to go along with the process and see what develops.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so first I'll take a motion for filling the permanent seat, which will end on June 30th, 2026. Is there a motion?
I would make a motion to appoint Anthony May to that position.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay. Moved by Gray, seconded by McCann. Any other nominations for the permanent position?
I think I see the writing on the wall, so I'm good.
Okay, so we have we have a motion to appoint Anthony May to the permanent position expiring on 6/30/2026. Any further discussion?
So just a quick discussion, is that it seems that Phil has been the alternate, and it seems, in my time sitting here, is that the alternate always moved up, and then someone new always moved into the alternate. Mr. May sounded very good, but he also said that, there's a learning curve with him, where I don't know if there's a learning curve with Mr. Balone. That being said, I said what I said, so.
Would you like to make a nomination?
Sure, I'd like to nominate Phil Balone. I don't know if I'll get a second one from you, Phil, but
Is there a second? I'll second it so that we have
There you
a
go.
discussion. Okay. Any discussion about the nominees before we vote?
I mean, I guess that's a very fair point, for sure, and I know that's how we've done things in the past, but I don't know, I sat on the ZBA before I was on this board, and I do think, unless you're a zoning lawyer, it's, you're catching up to speed on all this no matter what, and, I was a lawyer with a planning and zoning degree, or a planning degree, and I still didn't didn't have the specialty and relied on outside counsel about when we were doing that work. And I think it could just be useful. The way the board is structured, there are just 3 people in the seats, the 3 voting members, and the alternates only step in if one of those 3 members is not there. And I do think a lot of how the board has been, it's been kind of set a little bit because we haven't had that much interest. And I think somebody who's maybe coming in with kind of fresh perspective, I think could just be helpful. So that's what I'm thinking here and why I seconded Greg's motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, the first motion made was by Greg and seconded to appoint Mr. May to the permanent position ending June 30th, 2026. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. So congratulations, Mr. May. You are appointed to the permanent position. And,
Thank you very much.
okay, Mr. Balone is on till 2026?
7.
27, June
27.
30th of 2027.
Okay, so he would remain as a member of the, alternate member of the ZBA, and thank you for your interest. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
And, Mr. Chairman,
Don't go yet. You'll have to reach out to Town Clerk Lori West. She'll give you information. You have to take an ethics course online. Once you complete that course, you can come to Town Hall and be sworn in. Okay, you could reach her at lwest@town.hull.ma.us. Okay, and she'll give you the information for the ethics course, which is online. Thank you. Have a good evening. Okay, next, we have candidates for the Public Safety Building Committee. Before we go into that, I just want to say how grateful I am, and it speaks to the kind of town we are, that there are 4 positions and 12 people applying for them. It's really nice to see that there's so much interest in that, especially in a project that's going to impact the town for decades and impact the safety of folks in town. So this is an important committee, and very appreciative that so many people have applied. We'll go through each person, like with this committee, ask you to introduce yourself, qualifications that you bring to it, and why you're of interest. Some folks submitted resumes, others didn't, so if you could give us information about your background, that would be helpful for everybody to hear that. First, we'll go with Joe Berkeley. Mr. Berkeley?
Hi, I'm Joe. I am a Hull resident, and I wanted to join this group because I think it's a super important decision. I have a track record for getting things done. I've done some successful projects with Jason. I am not an architect, I'm not an attorney, but I think the strength of communications and what I hope would be some common sense could make a difference. I think this is a super important decision, and I hope you'll select the strongest candidate because we have to get it right. I think communicating the plan to people, the way we present it, is as important as the plan, and I hope we get it right. I think very highly of Hull FD. I've got to know those people. They're great people, and they deserve a quality home.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Berkeley? No? Okay. Pat Cannon? Pat?
Good evening, everybody. Pat Cannon, 16 Sagamore Terrace. I think I was interested in becoming part of the committee because it's a construction project at some point, and finding the right location that would be interesting for me, to all the ups and downs and different locations in town. I bring to the table my construction experience, electrical experience for many, many years. I'm the electrical inspector for the town of Hull, and I happen to sit on the municipal light board as well. I think it will be an interesting committee to serve with. So I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your interest. Questions for Mr. Cannon? Nope, seeing none, we'll go to the next candidate, Brian Elio. Is Mr. Elio?
Hi, I'm Brian Elio. I'm relatively new to town, moved here 4 or 5 years ago. Was recently appointed to the Design Review Board a few months ago. Came from Colorado, did a lot of public service there. Chaired the Arts Commission, did a lot of volunteering for other arts organizations, usually arts-based. For a living, I do architecture. I'm not a licensed architect, but I manage projects, mostly design schools. In Colorado, here I happen to design fire stations. And that's really kind of what sparked my interest in this, to help serve the town in a design sort of way, but to also be involved on the other side. I'm usually designing things, presenting things, and doing that, and so to be on the other side, I think would be kind of fun. I think I'd have a unique take. I can be impartial as a designer. You know, if you're designing someone's house or a school, you don't come in. You come in with your ideas, but you want to do what they want to do. So I'm used to taking the back seat and just kind of listening. So I don't know if there's any questions.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Elio?
So I missed it. Did you say you helped design a firehouse?
Yeah, so I work in Cambridge, and our specialty is fire stations. And I've been there for, it's kind of funny, I was there for a year, and I've been there like another year with a gap. So, yeah. Yeah.
So you've worked on fire stations here in Massachusetts, or?
Absolutely. We just submitted bid docs for 2 stations in Chelmsford. I'm doing I'm managing the West Boylston, town of West Boylston's feasibility study, similar to our public safety building. I've done a station for the city of Boston, public safety building in Ipswich.
Great, thank you. Any further questions? Great, thank you. Carrie Foreman, Ms. Foreman is online. Do you hear me?
I do hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, perfectly. If you can introduce yourself, give us a sense of your background and why you're interested in serving on this committee.
Certainly, thank you. Carrie Foreman, we live at 4 T Street in Hull. We've been here for 4 years. I recently retired as a commercial lending executive, and I have 45 years experience in commercial projects, municipal projects, nonprofit, real estate-based development, and that incorporates the whole gamut of budgeting, gap variances, and making sure that projects are followed through from beginning to end. So on specific transactions that I've been involved with over the years, I've worked with customers, but also I had a role as a project manager at various financial institutions. So I have a good understanding of how to work as part of a team and help build a consensus, listen to our constituents and understand what their objectives are and make sure that we are driving to completion to their satisfaction. I would just say that I'm really interested in this position because I would like to help the town move forward, bring Hull into the 21st century with respect to its public safety needs, which are really unique in the Commonwealth and, given the public beach and the length of the town itself. I think it's got some unique challenges, so I was really interested in participating in this role.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Foreman?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciate your application. Next is, where are we? Stephen Greenberg, who can't be here, but I will read his letter of application. My name is Stephen M. Greenberg, and he doesn't have his address. He lives in Hull. I am writing to request that I be appointed to one of the resident-at-large positions on the Public Safety Building Committee. Doing our best in this most important project will help define the next 50 years of our great coastal community. My passion and understanding of Hull, along with my professional experience and skills in planning, project management, land use, and finance, my direct experience in Natick with one of Massachusetts' first combined public safety buildings, prepares me well to be a valuable part of this committee. I have a master's degree in regional planning from Cornell University, where I explored a new regional planning model based on collaboration instead of competition. This model has allowed me to accomplish many well-received large projects. In addition, I have more than 50 years of professional and volunteer experience as a community leader. I believe these skills will come in handy as we search for the best possible decision on this project. What a great opportunity and expense for all of us. Provided his resume. I appreciate your consideration of my request. Since we can't ask Mr. Greenberg any questions, we'll go on to our next candidate.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
For better or worse, we're ahead of schedule, and so
Oh, I didn't look at the time.
the next appointment would be 7:45.
7:45, right.
So we're switching to
So we
other
have
stuff.
some time, yeah.
Do you have anything else?
We have to do the
Approvals.
Oh, okay. We have a request from Beth Landgraf, who is Chair, Co-President of Hull Pride. Reads the Hull Pride Over the Rainbow Run 5K Race, Dare to Change. Oh, date change. Sorry about that. Just not wearing my glasses. Date change, okay, from Saturday, May 2nd, 2026 to Sunday, May 3rd. That's the only change. The route is the same. The expected number of parked participants is the same.
So moved.
Oh, yeah, and I'll recuse myself, and like I did before, I'm on the board of Whole Pride, and yeah, the only reason for the date change was a conflict at the school.
Right,
So-
the SAT testing at
Yep.
the school. Great. So moved by Gray.
Second.
Seconded by McCann. All in favor? Aye.
I'm McCarthy.
You're McCarthy, he's McCann. Thank you.
He recused himself, that's why I want to make sure you did it right.
Okay, moved by Gray, seconded by McCarthy. It must be because I'm not wearing my glasses. All in favor?
Aye.
And one abstention. Thank you.
Town manager updates for 10 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, do you want to, you ready
Want
to
to
go?
start the warrant review? We can come in and out of it as,
Oh, okay, well, let's start it and then we'll come back to it then.
okay. So, as everyone is aware, we're coming up on town meeting first Monday in May for the 2026 annual town meeting. What the board has in front of you is the index of articles. We're still finalizing the draft, and you should have that probably by the end of the weekend, if not sooner, in time for further review. Next, at your March 18th meeting, and then March 25th, the board will close the warrant. And then we send it off to the printer, I believe, April 2nd. We have a total of 44 articles this year. Articles 1 through 12 are really our annual, I'll refer to them as boilerplate articles, so annual, FY '27 annual budget, setting salaries for elected officials, authorizing approval to enter into grants with various state agencies, acceptance of the Harbor Master Sewer and Cable Enterprise accounts. Article 13A sets aside CPA funds into the 4 categories, eligible categories. There's somewhat general fund, if you will. Article 13BA through BG are the recommended projects that the CPC is putting forward to town meeting for approval. They include beautification work to the community garden located on George Washington Boulevard on the old Showboat property, improvements to the Life-Saving Museum's outdoor space, renovation of the Village Park playground and basketball court, additional renovation and improvements to the Life-Saving boathouse, improvements to the Paragon Carousel Clock Tower, restoration and preservation of historical town records that were located at the Village Fire Station, and then a sizable contribution into the Hull Community Housing Trust Fund, which was established at last year's town meeting. Article 14 is, again, that's an annual warrant article which adjusts the cost of living for the retirees. Article 15 seeks to add $100,000 to each of the funds that you see listed, so the stabilization fund, capital stabilization fund, OPEB fund, and then I believe the following 4 or 5 are funds that have been created over the past year or two. The Police and Fire Injury Leave Indemnity Fund, Workers' Compensation Fund, Employment Liability, which funds unforeseen liabilities such as payouts, retirements, things of that nature, unemployment compensation, and the grant matching fund.
Just to be clear, it's 100 spread out through all of those funds, not for each fund.
No, for each fund.
It's 100 to each fund.
To each fund, yes. And then we have a utility easement for the Paragon property, Procopio's current project, as well as finalizing the Art Walk easement.
And are those, so what does that entail? Is that just affirming the easement, or is it a purchase of like the town purchasing?
Just an affirmation.
An affirmment, okay.
Yeah. And the utility easement is, there's an empty conduit in case it's needed for future use for the town's purposes, pulling fiber and things of that nature.
Okay. And those are needed because of the new development?
Correct.
Got it.
The next couple of articles are capital requests. We have requests from the Department of Public Works, and those, that capital recommendation and request, funding request is for foundation for 2 new columbariums at the cemetery that the town has and needs to establish at the cemetery, 1 new truck, 1 new backhoe, replacement and renovation of the storage and garage facility at the cemetery, and removing the porta potty that's there now and adding in actual restroom facilities for the public. I don't remember if there's one other, I feel like I'm leaving one request out for DPW. That may be all. Oh, I'm sorry. Additional work at for drainage at Pemberton. So it's sort of a redundancy effort at the old pump station. Moving the seawall settlement proceeds, the Crescent Beach seawall settlement proceeds into its own fund so that it doesn't end up in the general fund. Funding requests to resurface Matamet and Samoset. These are the interim measures pending notification about the TIP funding to do those streets as complete street projects in whatever design or traffic pattern ends up being determined. And I just want to reassure everybody that's still a process that's yet to be had. This,
You skipped
I
number
did.
20.
Number 20.
Department, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Capital request from the fire department, that's for a new ambulance. Sorry about that, chief. Capital request for roadway paving, that would cover the roadway that was not paved, that was originally bonded for under the existing pavement management plan. And then a capital request for the next phase of the landfill assessment, an assessment for closure. Article 24, we are still working on, but that would fund the relocation of whether it be a senior center, an all-ages facility, but the discussion to date has been more around relocation of the senior center. It was presented by the OPM for the relocation of the town hall. There is ample space in the building in order to relocate the senior center to the middle school.
Have we scheduled a time to do more information presenting on that yet? I know, just even if we haven't, just letting people know that we are.
Yep,
Yeah.
so I did meet with the director, Lisa Thornton, yesterday to talk it through with her. I am going before the Council on Aging next Tuesday, and I did invite them to meet at the middle school so they could lay eyes on the space that would be used for the senior center. And then from there, I'd like to hear a little more from the select board, and then we can continue to public
Is there
discussions.
a time for the meeting at the middle school?
5, it begins at 5. I haven't seen their agenda, so I don't know if they scheduled it beyond 5 o'clock, but I believe at 5. Article 25 seeks to fund continuation of any remaining feasibility work that may be needed on the public safety facility, as well as advance to the design portion of the project so that we can keep, pending a site location, we can keep that project moving forward.
Let's keep going. and we'll
Okay,
just start
one more
with the
minute.
Citizens petitions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Article 26 will seek some portion of funding just to ensure we have enough funds to close the town hall portion of 253 Atlantic Avenue, and then may call out, we're thinking it's possible there may be additional funds needed for the HVAC system, the air conditioning units in the new town hall or at Memorial Middle School. Article 28 is 28, 29, and 30, those are submitted by the sewer department, so capital emergency replacement reserve account. They are looking for a home rule petition relative to the length of contracts. And then a contract extension approval for their current operations and maintenance operators. And then the planning board has 4 articles. One is to amend the zoning bylaw for 106.2B6B, which is non-conforming uses. The other is flexible plan development. The third is to amend zoning bylaw for commercial A, B, and C districts. I believe that's just to include museums as an allowable use. And amend the zoning bylaw relative to Nantasket Beach Overlay District, otherwise known as the NBOD. I believe some of those amendments are relative to the permissible height of buildings, shadowing of buildings or new construction.
An open space requirement.
Space requirement.
Open space.
Open space, yes, thank you. And that brings us to our citizens petition, so it's,
We'll pick up at the citizens petitions. Thank you. And any discussion? After that. 7:45 appointment with John Anthony Morose. Is Mr. Morose here? And not online, okay. Well, let's go back to the citizens petitions.
Mr. Chairman, if I could?
Yes.
In all fairness to people that have volunteered for committee positions, they shouldn't have to sit through the board's business, quite frankly. They came in for interviews, and they have families as well, too.
Right,
But
unfortunately.
honestly, this should be done on your time and not on their time.
Well, we have specific times for the appointments, and we can't jump ahead past that on the agenda.
unfortunately, Chief, because we assigned, which we typically do for committee appointments, times to it, it would be in violation of open meeting law if we did not adhere to the times that were posted. I think that this was the quickest interview
Yeah, we didn't
for
expect
committee
it to
ever.
Yeah, we assumed we'd continue moving through it. But this gives people a chance to see what we have to go through also, so. Okay, so we have till 7:55 for our next appointment, so,
Oh, because Julie is withdrawn.
yes.
Julia Parker did
Yeah,
withdraw.
that's one reason why we're ahead also. Do you want to continue with the citizens petition?
Sure, and I'm not going to speak to any of them. I will just let you know that we have, I believe, 10 citizens petitions. The first two are submitted by Lisa French, and one is to amend the town bylaw relative to powers and duties associated with the Capital Improvement Planning Committee. The second is a request for an annual budget for town boards, committees, commissions, and councils. The third was submitted by Paul Goes, seeking funding for replacement of a section of the stairs at Western Avenue. Linda Hatu submitted a petition seeking permanent traffic direction changes in the Nantasket Beach Overlay District. Michael Marlowe is requesting recording and public access to open meetings. Leslie Taylor has submitted a petition from the Select Board to the General Court for special legislation to amend the charter to remove the town manager from the operation of the municipal light plant and restore authority to the light board. Jake Valancourt has submitted a citizen's petition seeking legal review for citizen petition articles. Susan Vermilia has submitted 2 articles. One is remote public access to town board and committee meetings. The second is repeal of the May 2018 annual town meeting warrant 11. And Kathleen Wolf has submitted a citizen's petition for eminent domain at James Ave Wharf and James Ave Beach.
So just, we will be closing the warrant on the 25th, and at that point, if anybody on the board would like to speak to or propose supporting or opposing any article, we can have that discussion after we close the warrant.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. I would just request when you get the warrant, look through it, and as the chair stated, if the board wants to take a position on any of the articles, obviously, let us know, and we will put that on the agenda.
Well, I'll just say for myself, I won't be quoting on any of the, if anybody wants to bring up a particular article, after last year with Article 37, I'm not going to take a position. I'll let the town meeting people decide ultimately what happens.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just have one comment. For the citizens that are doing those petitions, please do your best to educate the public. It'll help at town meeting. That's it.
Good, thank you.
Can I ask a question about?
Please speak slowly, we have 5 more minutes.
While we're in the middle of these appointments for the Public Safety Committee, do we have a sense, maybe to let everybody know what the time commitment is, what the plan is for
Yep.
the committee to meet and how often?
What I can do is just let the candidates know exactly what the charge of the building committee is. I think it was posted in the advertisement for participation on the committee. But essentially, the board will collaborate with the town throughout the remaining portion of the feasibility study. The main portion of that work that's left right now is the community outreach and determining a single site. Right now, there are 6 options really centered around 2 to 3 properties, different variations. They include Town Hall, the HRA property, and then substations for fire at A Street and/or L Street. It'll be working with the internal committee and the overall town on the community outreach efforts. So pretty much right out of the gates, getting those community engagement efforts and meetings scheduled and helping conduct them, helping take back feedback from the community relative to location, concerns about the facility size, noise, whatever it might be in general, and bring it back for the committee's evaluation. And then moving forward, once a location has been determined, to work with the owner's project manual and architects in supporting the design of the facility, and of course, obviously, police and fire staff working on the design and then moving into construction, assisting with evaluating the contractor and the architect for design once we go out to bid, and not so much prepping those bid documents, but maybe reviewing the scope in the documents for recommendations. I believe that's really, it's a bit of a road ahead of us, but that is essentially the work of the committee throughout the process. Typically, a building committee will stay in place until construction's complete. So the board didn't assign any specific terms to the appointment, so that's just something to keep in mind. My suggestion would be on this particular committee, that unless there's an issue or a committee member needs to step off, just for continuity of the project, that one single committee moving forward throughout the process might actually be ideal.
Can you go over the members? There are 9 members of the committee?
There are 9 members, so representation from the Hull Police Department, Fire Department, Town Manager's Office, a member of the Select Board, a member of the Advisory Committee, and 4 residents at large. And if you need to kill additional time, the board still needs to appoint a member to the committee.
Oh, can I ask a question about for the police department and fire department, we just said a representative from the police and fire department, but I guess it's assumed the chief or their designee, and they could be substituted and the chiefs of either of those departments.
I would completely defer to each chief.
Yeah, it could bring additional people as well.
Oh, of course. And they'll all be public meetings, so the public, is welcome to attend the meetings. And there might still be some staff meetings in the interim as needed, depending on what stage we're at or what work needs to be addressed. But they are public meetings, and yes.
And are you thinking once, to start, will they be meeting once a month, once every couple months?
I think to start, it might be a little I think it's going to ebb and flow. So I think through the community engagement phase, there'll be more meetings. So prepping and meeting with the firm we're working with right now with the feasibility study, and then attending those outreach meetings, because it's going to be very important that the committee members are there to share, support, to hear feedback from, whatever group the committee may be meeting with at that time. And then there might be a little bit of a lull after, and then maybe, I don't know, I would say once to 2 times a meeting. As we're out to bid, it might slow down a little bit, and then when we bring an OPM on, it might pick back up. but
1 to 2 times a month. Yeah.
I would say anticipate at a minimum, twice a month.
Sorry.
So, quick question.
Yes.
So who would designate the chair of the 9 people of the committee itself?
Who needs to,
Who would vote to make the chairman of that 9-member?
oh, the committee itself.
So the 9 people would?
Yep.
So it wouldn't be us? Okay.
All right. I think we're back on track. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for your patience. It's 7:55. Donna Purcell. Donna, if you could introduce yourself, and you know the drill.
Hi, Donna Purcell, 56 Whitehead Ave. First, I want to start by just expressing my gratitude to the men and women who serve our community. Their work certainly has a tremendous amount of responsibility, stress, and personal sacrifice. I think it's long overdue that they have a home that can meet all those demands. So my professional experience I can bring to this committee is I've worked inside of finance and contract management for over 3 decades. And my responsibility throughout this journey has been working on large projects with large corporations with complex issues throughout contract management, ensuring that it comes out at balanced costs, there's quality, and at the end that there's value to the end user. My former experience as a select board member and a member of the Economic Development Committee shows my interest in the community, and my focus has always been on how we can move the community forward and what works best for everybody. This project isn't brand new. I think it's really coming at a right time that we're addressing it. I'd be honored to sit on the committee.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Donna? Seeing none? Great, thank you.
Let's see, you're away for
This is
minutes.
moving along quicker than we, you had a question?
Yeah, it's really trivial. I'm filling out a form to get a room in the school department to do the educational piece for the article, and they want me to tell them which department of the town I should attach myself to for insurance purposes. And all I could come up with was the select board, so I thought I'd check in with you before I said that. It's a one-liner in the application.
We'll have to, let's talk with you after the meeting.
Oh, it's not trivial.
No, nothing's trivial, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Okay, we have 2 minutes. Next is Nick Russo. Nick, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us
Thanks,
about you.
Mr. Chairman, and for those who, the board, I haven't met before, my name is Nick Russo. I'm interested in this position because it's long overdue, first of all. I'm a lifelong resident. My kids are here, my grandkids are here. I spent 30 years in the fire department here, last 18 as chief. I have a pretty good working knowledge of what the town's resources are, what our vulnerabilities are, and what the capabilities need to be and what the resources need to be. When I retired from here, I went to work for FEMA as a disaster specialist, and I spent 20 years with them in the largest events in the country. So I think I bring not only a leadership quality, but I think I bring a familiarity with what the town needs, and I think what will serve the best interest of the folks here. It's long overdue. It's not without its pain points, for sure. When you look at what the recommendations are and where the spots are and the potentials are, but I think it can be done. And I think if the board is open and the people are open to a little bit wider concept of what public safety means, then I think we have a big advantage, and I think it needs to be marketed very well, and I think the discussions need to be open, transparent. There is, just in what I've read already, there is wildly inaccurate information out there, so I think if the board is ready to be transparent, then I think the committee can do a lot of good things, and I think the future of public safety in the community really rests on what this committee does and what the final results are.
Mr. Russo, if I could ask you, talk a little bit about the work that you did other than serving on as fire chief and in the fire department here.
Sure.
You've listed a number of things which I think are very...
Sure, I spent 20 years before I retired here, I was a member of the International Association of Fire Chiefs. I was the strike team leader for 9/11 sent to Ground Zero. I was one of the people that responsible for the recovery of the 6 firefighters in the Worcester cold storage event. After I left the fire service, I went to FEMA. I had been at disasters from Maine to Micronesia. Spent 13 weeks in the jungle there. But my biggest event obviously was Hurricane Katrina in Mississippi. I was the lead for that. A federal coordinating officer is appointed by the president to run all federal assets for that event. And so I spent 20 years doing that, about 120 federal declared disasters and special security events, Super Bowl, inauguration, State of the Union, those kind of things. So I think I bring about 50 years worth of public service and public safety to the committee, and I'm excited. I'm finally retired, and I get a chance to give back a little bit and do something for the community. So I'm looking forward to it and look forward to the opportunity.
Be careful, you might be busier in retirement than you were before, if that's possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Russo?
No, just a comment. That's a remarkable history. Thank you for all you've done.
Great. Thank you. Next is David Twombly. You can walk
yes.
slowly to the mic. We're still a little ahead.
Yeah, so I worked for the Easton Public Schools for 13 years. I was the director of operations. So we built a brand new elementary school where we took 3 elementary schools and consolidated them into one. I was involved with the design, construction, feasibility, from soup to nuts. I looked at the PowerPoint that you guys have, and it looks like you guys are pretty much following the exact same guidelines or steps that the MSBA, the Massachusetts School Building Authority, follows by going out to bid. And that was pretty much my responsibility. I was very responsible for all contracting and procurement for the district. We also had a combined maintenance operation, so I was the representative for the school department with the Department of Public Works. So we had a person that did all the maintenance, an HVAC person, electrical person, landscaping. They did everything, and I kind of was the in-between between the DPW, the town, and the school department. But I think this when I saw the advertisement on Facebook, it just kind of jumped off the page to me. I was just like, wow, this is like perfect type of position for me to be involved with. I'm very excited to do this. I also have, as you probably know, I was on the school committee for 15 years. I was also on the planning board for 12 years, so certainly have those leadership skills. I was the chairman of the school committee, I think like 8 years or something like that. And I was also the chairman of the planning board for 6 or 7 years. So I definitely have the leadership skills, the knowledge, but I think I'll bring a lot of assets and experience to this project. Because again, I was involved with not only the project in Easton, but I was also involved with the project here in Hull, with the Jacobs Elementary School. I've also done new roofs. I was involved with an ESCO project in Easton, playground projects, you name the project, I've been involved with it. So I think it'd be a great asset to the committee, and good luck to everybody that's here.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Twombly?
So I got a quick one. So
Please.
did you say that you had some dealings with working towards the building at the Jacob School?
Yeah, so I was involved with that. So I worked, they had gone out to bid for that, so I came in at the very beginning with the Jacob School. So I worked with the school building committee, and I kind of was the intermediary between the designer and the OPM and the school department and the school building committee.
And were you on the school committee at that time?
No, I was not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good question, though.
Keep running up against the clock.
Appreciate
I
that.
needed
I
you to
usually don't
talk a
come up with
little
good
more
ones.
slowly, but do we have anything else to fill? We don't. We've done everything else on the agenda.
We're going to do our appointee.
Yeah, let's do our appointees. So there is a select board member appointment to fill out the committee. We have 2 folks that are interested in it. First is Jerry Taverna, who is traveling and could not be here, but I will read his letter of application. I would like to formally put my name in the mix for the Public Safety Building Committee as the Select Board appointee. My current role is as project superintendent for block builders, and I am currently the lead superintendent for a $4 million middle school building project at the Inley School in Situate. My experience also includes 40-plus years of carpentry, building, 20-plus years bidding, estimating projects, 20-plus years of project management, 20-plus years of superintendent, project lead, and 20-plus years of architectural design for project builds, and 20-plus years direct consumer sales. I hope they all happened at the same time. The most recent projects that I have been involved with include the following over the last 5 years: the Inley Middle School project, lead superintendent, Girls Inc. renovation project, lead superintendent, Dugan Arts Studio renovation at UMass Lowell, lead superintendent, Chelmsford Middle School kitchen renovation, lead superintendent, BC High bathrooms and concession stand project estimator. I believe my background and experience are a great match for this committee, and I know I will be able to analyze and communicate effectively with all project stakeholders. My experience as a training manager would also help the group to understand complicated commercial construction terminology and criteria related to the project. And he thanks us for allowing him to be on hybrid. We have another board member that's interested, Member Gray.
Thank you, Warren. My experience is a little different. I've been in the same industry for 41 years, building sand and gravel and quarry equipment. My jobs go anywhere from 25 million all the way down to $1 million, so I follow those projects all the way through, and just, I can be way quicker than Jerry was. Jerry has a lot of good skill sets for this job. I just have an unbelievable passion for our town. I want to do good. I think I can bring a great perspective to that committee, especially with all these great people that are willing to serve. And I just hope you'll have your support.
Okay, thank you. So I'll take nominations for...
I just have a question.
Yes, please.
You don't want to be on this committee?
No, I'm good, thanks. Appreciate it.
Sure?
Yeah.
I want to just make sure.
Would you like to
because,
take a minute for a second or two?
You don't want to be that because
No.
of Brian?
No, it's not.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just
No.
wanted to make sure because I know you've talked a lot about it and, you know.
Nope.
But
I
just
would like
because
to
I wasn't at the
go-
last meeting,
I would,
so.
in a different thing, I would like to go to that senior citizen walkthrough, though,
Okay.
on another note.
Yep.
But, yeah.
I'll make a motion to nominate Greg Gray as the Select Board appointee to the Public Safety Building Committee.
Is there a second? I will second it. Okay, and is there a nomination for Jerry Taverna?
In all fairness, I will say I'll nominate Jerry.
Is there a
And
second?
then whoever wins will revisit and we'll all vote in unison.
Okay.
So can you repeat that one more time, Brian?
So if I do get a second for Jerry, and it turns out that Greg comes in, or even Jerry comes in, that we can unanimously vote for the next person coming up, as opposed to being structured,
Oh,
severed,
okay.
I should say.
Gotcha.
We all like each other, don't we?
Yeah, I will second that so that we do have a vote on both. Okay. First, all in favor of Greg Gray, please raise your hand. 3 for Gray. All in favor of Taverna? Jerry Taverna is 1. So, great,
That being said,
congratulations, but
I'd like to
go
make
ahead and make your
another,
motion.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we vote unanimously for Mr. Gray to be the liaison to the selectmen on the Public Safety Building Committee.
And I'll second that motion.
Perfect, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous.
And just a comment, we don't know what is ahead of us with the elections. That's kind of why I didn't vote
Fair
that
enough.
way. That's the only reason.
We do need continuity, so.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I think
good.
I got 1 more minute, but we're going to go. Richard Scott Wormington,
Yes, sir.
please.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
I want to thank
You know the
everyone for
drill.
the opportunity to come today to express my interest in the public safety building. I did have an opportunity to go online and do the feasibility study. My experience, I was a local police officer for 7 years down in Barnstable. I just retired 3 years ago from the state police after 31 years. I was the deputy superintendent, the number 2 in charge of the state police, with a $500 million budget and 3,000 employees. We oversaw all the structures and facilities for that organization, including 35 barracks, which are obviously older than even places here in Hull, which, knowing that requires a lot of maintenance, upgrades when you're doing body-worn camera and cruiser-mounted cameras. You need all that bandwidth. I've learned a lot about construction that way. We had to build a new facility over in South Boston, which is a lot of it was a challenge. Challenges here, we're talking about the floodplain. There, we're talking about the Charles River and the locks. The locks actually went into the building there with water that went through there, and they had to figure out how we're gonna be able to pump this water out, which was used with diesel engines. It was also in a historical district, which caused some problems as well. But it forced us to maintain a budget to make sure our people were there on time. And I had that unique perspective as to what a police department needs. I've seen your facilities here. I've been in those facilities. I've only been a resident 6 years here, but your town is fantastic. I'd come here when I was a trooper, and I'd come here and work with your local police officers. Now I'm a lawyer. I work for the DA part-time. I still work with your officers. Chief Russo, good friend of mine, met him, came into town. I had a medical issue, and I used to always why did the fire department send a fire truck to a medical? Well, I learned why, because the 2 ambulances you had were busy. So thankfully, when I'm sitting in my window that night and I'm watching that fire truck come down the street, I couldn't have been more happier. So I have that unique perspective. I think I do a phenomenal job. I think I look at both the public safety buildings. You need it. Honestly, it's a disgrace that the people work in these conditions. I'm sure your cells aren't up to code. I watched the fire department back those new trucks into the building over there. I'm surprised they can do it, how narrow that is. So we have all this new equipment, and I just think I have the perspective and the passion here to make sure that our public safety people get the type of building that they need and they deserve. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Warmington? Good, thank you. Last is Patrick McCarthy. Is Mr. McCarthy here?
So I have a quick disclosure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So over an abundance of caution, I want to disclose at this time that I am related to Patrick McCarthy. I have sought town council advice to whether I would be able to vote on his application to join the newly formed committee, and I was told I would indeed be able to act on his application. He's not immediate family, from what town council told me. And so with that being said, I feel I can be fair and impartial in this matter. And per town council advice, I have filed a disclosure, 23B, Section 3 disclosure form for conflict of interest to the proper authorities. And Stacy, thank you for helping me out with that. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Pat?
Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah, thank you very much. As Brian has mentioned, I've lived in town pretty much my whole life, so I have a lot of relatives in town, so this will occur, right? I've lived here, and I plan on raising my kids here for the rest of my life, hopefully. My recent experiences, I've been an OPM for one of the largest public safety complexes in the Commonwealth. It was a $195 million job in Quincy that considered police station and fire administration, and with a combination of different concepts and things that we carried through the design from the feasibility through construction. I'm familiar with the Mass General laws of filed subbids and working with the contractor manager at risks. So I've been in the boots on the ground type of guy to the very beginnings, feasibilities, investigations, pre-planning with architects. I've worked on multiple fire station jobs with architects to come from concept levels to feasibilities to budget considerations through VEs to all the different considerations that go into it. I think this project is a very important and valuable project to the town that is absolutely a need. Emergency management, response times, everything should be considered and everything should be on the table. So have an open discussion with all the different members, different department heads. I've worked with different department heads through the last 20 years of my career. I went to school for civil engineering, so I have that background from civil engineering to construction to OPM work, to working with various contracts through the Mass general laws and procurement. So I'm very familiar with the laws and the challenges that are ahead of us, and I'd like the ability to work on the committee and provide some advice from things I've learned along the way during these processes.
Thank you.
So I got a question. I'm not the brightest bulb in the tree. What's OPM, Pat?
Known as project management.
Okay.
As you know, we mentioned about how we have to select that in the beginning of the project, so I've worked on that, particularly for the public safety complex and others during those different stages of it.
Perfect, thank you.
I just have a question. I was just looking at your resume. Your role as an OPM and your employer has been the city of Quincy, though, right?
No, I work as a consultant.
Okay.
The city of Quincy just have done, at least my history, and a lot of work recently. So whether it be downtown construction, public safety facilities, road work construction, I've had the ability to work on almost a various level of different projects and different aspects of the project as the OPM to the city, but not actually working for this.
So obviously your company is not looking to be involved in some kind of paid way.
At this stage, yeah, no, I'd be more just still working towards that voluntary position. If that OPM role sort of come, it would have to figure out those logistics, but as of right now, I'm just going for the voluntary position.
Thank you. Well, first I want to thank everybody. We have 11 applications for 4 positions, and clearly we have a very difficult decision. It's so wonderful to know that in this little town, we have so many well-qualified, high-powered people. It always amazes me when we make appointments, the quality of residents that we have in town here. What I would like to say, though, besides thanking all 11 folks that have applied, is we can only appoint 4. For the other 7 folks, these meetings will be public, and you are free to come with everybody else and bring your expertise and still participate in the project and the process of it. It's just the difference between having a vote, but everybody would still have the ability to speak to the issues and participate in a series of public meetings, and all of these meetings, the meetings of the building committee, will be public as well, so anybody can come to those meetings. So I'm going to start by asking for nominations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm going to take the easy way out right here and start with what I feel is our best candidate. I'd like to nominate Nick Russo to the Public Safety Building Committee application. Your wealth of knowledge is priority number 1, so I would like to see him on the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, second. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate, one of the things I was looking at, Mrs. Hart. I mean, everybody's really, 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 there's a lot of useful things here. But I was just looking at, different people. I agree with the selection, Mr. Russo, somebody who I think could offer something a little bit different, because we're looking for a mix of different types of people and backgrounds. So I'd like to nominate Carrie Foreman for one of the openings, given her experience in commercial lending, project management. I know that was something that we highlighted in addition to people who have, construction background, things like that. So I'd like to add her to the mix.
Quick question, did she do that? I just trying to remember her.
She was mostly finance.
Was it in Massachusetts that she?
She was with Rockland Trust, and she did commercial financing for municipalities, nonprofits, and
45
lending.
Into town, so I didn't know if
45 years of commercial property.
With a number of different banks.
Yeah. She meant small P project management, like not
OPM.
managing a project like this, but having project management skills. But yeah, it was really more for that commercial lending experience.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time here.
We going to Brian first?
Yeah.
Can each pick? Yeah.
So let me just tell you this. I've been here, it'll be 3 years in May. This is by far, I don't know by far, because there's other committees that we had to vote on. But I didn't hear one person tonight that should not be on this board.
And that's the problem.
I'm glad, because we initially thought we were going to put 7, and it was only going to be, what, 2 from the public, so thank God that we pushed it to 9, that we have 4 now. But yeah, I mean, again, I thank you, everybody. If I don't vote for you, and if I see you out, and I'll have to buy you dinner somewhere in town. But no, all kidding aside, this is very tough for me, because I know a lot of people in town, and there's just been, every, not to repeat myself, but every single person in that interview tonight fully deserves to be on this board. So.
Yeah, to only be able to do 4 is
Painful.
painful.
If I threw out a suggestion. The board could always appoint an alternate or 2. It's going to be a long-duration project. You can have that alternate even as a voting member in the absence of a committee member. Like I said, it's a long-duration committee.
Motion to
It's going to
appoint
be
2
busy in the
alternates.
summer.
Okay.
Second.
Second, it's, okay.
What did you motion?
I motion to appoint 2 alternates.
2?
Not 7?
We need a functioning board.
Yeah, I'd like to,
With
Do you
voting?
want to
Do-
do the
I'm
alternates
sorry.
first?
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Jen has
With
to clarify.
voting rights?
Yes, with voting rights,
In the absence of.
in the absence of other board members.
Right. Is there a second? to that?
He seconded it.
Yeah,
Oh,
to that,
okay.
yes.
Moved by Gray, seconded by McCarthy. All in favor?
Aye.
So let's appoint the voting members first, and then we'll appoint the 2 alternates. I'd like to nominate, Brian Elio, with OPM experience. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd also like to make a second nomination, which is Patrick McCarthy, for the same reason with his OPM experience.
I'll second that.
If I could add a general comment, it's great to see someone so young stepping up right now.
So we got a second on Brian McCarthy. Is there a second on, I'm sorry, on Patrick McCarthy?
I don't want to be on the board, remember?
Really, you sure?
I'll second that.
Okay, and a second for Brian Elio?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so there is a second. Okay, so we have, any other nominations?
Did you get a second for Nick?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry,
let's go
second
back.
for Nick Russo?
Was Brian. So I have Greg nominated Nick Russo, Brian seconded.
Okay,
And then I have Jason nominated Carrie Foreman, but I don't have a second on that. Is that correct?
I'll second that.
okay. So it's Jason and Greg, and then,
Brian Elio,
is there a
Irwin.
second on Brian Elio?
Didn't I just do that? No.
See,
Maybe we got to slow down the pace
yeah.
here.
We've never had
Just
so many.
seconding Carrie Foreman.
I'll second Brian Elio.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a second then for Patrick McCarthy?
Second.
Okay. Phew. Okay, so we go in the order that they were,
So you have Nick Russo was first.
yeah, so we have 4 seats, so folks can vote 4 times.
So
then,
can we still nominate people? So once we get to
Yeah.
the floor, is that, that's what I
Do you still have anybody else you'd like to nominate?
I would like to nominate David Twombly.
Okay,
I'll second that.
For one of the 4 seats.
Correct.
Yeah.
so it's
Then we
Brian
can
and
just,
Greg. Okay, so let me just go through it again. We have, we'll try to get it in the author that they came in. Nick Russo, Carrie Foreman, Brian Elio, Patrick McCarthy, and David Twombly.
Yes.
Any other nominations?
I'd also like to nominate Mr. Warmington. Is it Richard?
Scott, yeah.
Scott, yeah, as well.
Scott. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 nominations. So would folks agree if we appoint 4 of those 6 to the permanent seats, the other two would be the alternate seats, or do you want to vote separately on alternate seats?
Just to be clear, I guess you should just consider, were each of those nominations for the permanent seat?
Yes.
Was there anyone that intended to nominate for an alternate seat?
No.
Okay, so what, you think you should go through the votes on each of those 6?
Yeah.
The 4, and then go back and make nominations for
what-
alternates?
Okay, so I'm going to try to get them in the order that they were nominated. First, all in favor of appointing Nick Russo to a permanent seat?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's, next was Carrie Foreman. All in favor of appointing Carrie Foreman to a permanent seat? Aye, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's 2 votes. 4 votes here. Okay, next was, where are we here? Next was Brian Elio. All in favor of appointing Brian Elio to a permanent seat?
Aye.
2 votes there. Okay, next is Patrick McCarthy. All in favor of appointing Patrick McCarthy to a permanent seat?
Aye.
Aye, we'll go 3 with that one. And then we are down, David Twombly. All in favor of appointing David Twombly to a permanent seat?
Aye.
2 votes. And all in favor of appointing Scott Warmington to a permanent seat?
Aye.
2 votes. 3 votes.
Yeah, I'll say aye.
Okay, so if I got it right here, Nick Russo got 4 votes, Patrick McCarthy got 3, Scott Wormington got 3, Brian Elio 2, Carrie Foreman 2, and David Twombly 2. So I'm going to, for those 3, I'm going to ask for votes on them again.
So just to be clear, based on that, we have appointed Nick Russo, Richard Scott Warmington, and Patrick McCarthy.
Correct.
Right.
And we have, so I'm going to ask for a revote on Brian Elio and Carrie Foreman. All in favor of Carrie Foreman? And David Twombly,
I
yes.
think it's just it's a no vote since it was a tie.
Oh, yeah, so you'd have to take new nominations?
Yeah, so a 2-2 vote is a no vote.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you need a new nomination for the 4th seat and then the additional 2 nominations for the alternates.
I'll nominate again Carrie Foreman, because now we've given the 3 people who we have appointed, I really do think somebody who has that kind of finance experience. We have somebody who has a lot of experience in the police department. We have somebody who was a former fire chief here, somebody who has the kind of construction experience. And not that none of those people also, I'm sure, in all of those settings had, budgetary and finance experience, but that kind of independent commercial lending side experience, I think could just be something particularly different. So I would even more emphatically re-nominate Carrie Foreman for the 4th position.
for the 4th position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are there any other nominations? for
Yeah,
the
so
fourth?
I'd like to nominate Dave Twombly once again.
Is there,
I think he brings, from what his experience is, I think he brings something that's unique, as Jason pointed out, different people. And the reason I voted for Nick and Mr. Warmington is, there's got to be subcommittees here to this committee, and to have someone in the police field and someone in the fire field to deal with the liaisons from the fire department. Chris, I don't know who you're going to nominate, and I don't know who the chief's going to nominate. But once you get into subcommittees, now you got, whether it's dual, you're going to build a dual safety building, or we're going to separate them into fire and police. I think, again, that was my thought process of having people on the board that public service.
okay, so is there a second?
Just to slow you down for a minute, I don't think you seconded his.
Yeah, were there any seconds?
We didn't get a second for Carrie.
I don't think you asked.
You didn't ask?
Oh, no, I didn't.
So just
Yes.
making sure.
Right, I just made a note to myself to do that, right. Is there a second for Carrie Foreman as an alternate?
As a 4th full-time.
I'm sorry, this is
fourth
the
full-time.
4th full-time that we're going for. Okay, is there a second for David Twombly?
I'll second David.
Okay, are there any other nominations for the 4th position? I'd like to go back and renominate Mr. Elio, Brian Elio. Is there a second?
I will.
Okay. Seeing.
This is not easy.
This is not easy.
No.
Usually, in the past times, I'm just like, this is, everybody understands, right? But this is a little bit more complicated. It's a lot of good people.
Okay, no second on that?
No, I won't second.
I'd like to make another nomination then for Donna Purcell for the fourth permanent position.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other nominations for the fourth position? Okay, so we have nominated and seconded David Twombly and Donna Purcell. All in favor of David Twombly?
Aye.
Aye.
2 for David Twombly. And all in favor of Donna Purcell?
Aye.
Aye.
3. Okay, so the fourth position then would go to Donna Purcell. And now we can open up. Whew, this is not easy, I just have to say to everybody. It's like what do they call it, embarrassment of riches? But this is not an embarrassment, it's an honor. Okay, I'll take nominations for the 2 alternate positions.
I'd like to nominate David as an alternate.
David?
Twombly.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, David is an alternate. Any other, we have 2 alternates. Any other nominations?
I guess since we've been talking about it, I'll nominate Brian Elio as the second alternate.
Brian Elio, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Berkeley. I think he'd bring a unique perspective to this. I've followed his Facebook, and he'd bring something unique to us. Marketing, drone shots, that kind of thing, if we ever needed to. If and when we do identify the main place we're going to put the building, or buildings, we talked about possibly having multiple buildings. But I think he would do a pretty good job as well.
Is there a second?
I'll
for Joe
second that.
Berkeley?
Yeah,
Okay.
I totally agree with that. And I do think, Mr. Berkeley would definitely bring in something different with his marketing communication background, so.
Okay, any other nominations for alternate? So nominations are closed. We'll take a vote. Those in favor of David Twombly?
Aye.
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 4. Okay, Brian Elio? Aye. 1, okay. And Mr. Berkeley, Joe Berkeley?
Aye.
3. Okay, thank you. So we have a committee. Let me go over it to make it somewhat official. For the 4 permanent positions, I'm proud to announce that we've found some pretty amazing people. Nick Russo, Patrick McCarthy, Scott Wormington, and Donna Purcell for the 4 permanent positions. For the 3 alternate positions, equally amazing candidates, David Twombly and Joe Berkeley. And for everybody else, again, thank you. Again, it is a public process. Even if you were not appointed to the committee tonight, your expertise, your interest, and your participation in the process is welcome and important as we go through this process. It's something that's going to affect our town for decades to come. So the more people that are involved and the more expertise we have, the better it will be in the end. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us.
So just a quick comment. So say this committee could possibly go on for years, correct? So if and when someone has to get off the board that we just nominated, that the people that were here tonight that were not nominated, they should somehow, in my opinion, get first right to come back.
If they're interested. Generally, the way it works, when there's an opening, it's advertised and it's a new application process.
I get that.
So if those folks are still interested, that would be great.
I'm just saying to
Their
the people
applications would be welcome.
who are not, I would suggest if it does come up, to put your name back in, because I'd vote for you.
Okay.
Quick question. So wouldn't it be that if somebody were to get off the committee out of those 4 people, that one of the alternates would then go in there Then you would fill the alternate position.
Generally, when a when a voting position becomes available, we advertise it, and if the alternate person is interested in becoming a permanent member,
So you could be alternate forever.
it's a possibility. Yeah, so the alternate would
Just
vote.
happened tonight at the Board of Appeals.
Say, but it doesn't typically happen either.
And a reminder about Laurie.
For the folks, both voting members and alternate members, please reach out to Town Clerk Lori West. She'll give you information about the online ethics training that you have to take. Once you take that, you can be sworn in. Until you're sworn in, you can participate, but you can't vote until you are sworn in as a voting member. And again, on behalf of the Select Board, thank everybody for your interest and bearing with us through this process. And we look forward to the work that you're going to do as we move ahead with this important project. So thank you all.
One more quick comment, now that I'm thinking this all through. So now we have 2 alternates, someone doesn't show up at a meeting, so now there's 8 people and 2 alternates. Which alternate is the voting member? You follow me?
I would say the first, I would say Dave.
It would be, yeah,
Fair enough.
David Twombly and then Joe Berkeley.
So do we label Dave as first alternate?
What a title. See that?
Supreme alternate.
Okay, congratulations, David, as first alternate. There you go. Just sitting there doing nothing, you moved right up, huh?
Hey, Joe came out from nowhere in the back and
Great. Again, I think for committee appointments, this was the most difficult one we've had in a long time. And it is an extremely important committee, so thank you all and look forward to it. I just want to repeat again, when we make committee appointments, I'm always amazed at the level of expertise and involvement we have in town. For a small town, we've got a lot of very smart people. So, thank you. We'll go move on to town manager updates.
just a couple of updates this evening. So the town is wrapping up and the school wrapping up its IT assessment. So we look forward to those results so that we can move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't you wait a second, Jeff?
Thank you, Board.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, good night.
Take care, good night.
I met with Jenny Friedman this week, the incoming president for the Hull Chamber of Commerce, just to share ideas. We'll be following up with each other. That was a great conversation. Advisory board meetings have gotten underway. The website upgrade is moving along, and we hope to push out a lot of new features from the town at the same time. So the online permitting, we're moving public records requests to online as well. And just a reminder that the board is meeting again next Wednesday, March 18th.
Excuse me, thank you. Great. I just have one announcement. The Hull No Place for Hate Committee is having their annual Feast of Conversations on Sunday, March 22nd at the hotel from 1 to 3:30. It's open to all Hull residents, and it's a good way to meet and engage with neighbors and have conversations of importance. So I highly recommend that that if you can make it, you make it. I've been to several of these, and they are very positive events. So thank you.
Actually say, I did forget, this Sunday, the Friends of Paragon Carousel is having our annual meeting at the Corner Stop at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So Friends of Paragon Carousel, the nonprofit that runs the carousel that I'm on, the nonprofit board that runs the carousel. So this is our annual meeting. There'll just be a few little introductions, formalities, but we'll also have information about our plans for the clock tower building renovations. And so hoping any and all of you are able to pop by, and anybody else who's watching, everybody here. That's 2 p.m. this Sunday at the Corner Stop Eatery.
Great. 2 p.m. this Sunday. One more thing that I forgot, Hull Artists is just put out a call to poets to submit poetry, And then the artists pick poems, and they're creating art to go with the poems, and that will be on display at the library. It looks very interesting from what I've seen of it, so I suggest people watch out for that and go and enjoy poetry and art put together.
So I don't have much, but I have a friend, actually, more importantly, a constituent who lives over on Hampton Circle. And she reached out to me yesterday about the one-way sign that's still up at the corner of what be Bay Street and at California Underground.
Right.
So she's wondering when that sign will be taken down.
I can check on that. They were placed for the blizzard and probably the snow melting, which obviously has happened, so I will check with the police chief.
Okay, because I guess there's a little unrest up in Hampton Circle with that one-way sign. So if one of you guys can get back to me in the next couple of days, that way I can get back to her and get it out of my life.
That reminds me, do we have to declare an end to the state of emergency?
You do not.
We do not, okay. Just ends on its own. Good. Anything else?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We're going into executive
Oh, are we?
session.
Okay, didn't know. What about?
Before we do that, once we're off camera and everything, if we could just answer
okay, yeah.
Leslie's question. So,
I'm gonna have to get back to you, Leslie. I think essentially, the reason being is, I'm gonna need to check with.
Because you guys sent me to Amy Hyde, and I went right to Amy Hyde and I got the paperwork, and this sounds like maybe I should just pay for a public, not use the school facilities. I don't understand why it's such a.
It shouldn't be, it's just, I just need to check on the insurance requirements, so.
Well, before you make a decision about that, I should say, I thought I was gonna be the only one to have an educational presentation because of because I wanna quiet down the noise around this issue and just get to the law and the simple, super dry. And, but several other people who have articles on the list would like to also present. And when you said we hope they educate the public tonight, I was encouraged that those people would also get the okay from you guys. So I just wanted to, if you give me something, you might have to multiply it to
No, I understand that.
the other applicants. I just wanted to heads up. Yeah,
I understand
well, she told me
that's-
I've got to have this in 10 days before I want to present. I want to present on the 24th, so.
Okay, we can work with the deadline. I just want to make sure, because some of those spaces are shared spaces between the school and the town. And if groups that are using that space are providing, and have insurance, and they name, because typically they'll name the town as an additional insured. If you, as Leslie Taylor, had a meeting and something happened, who bears that responsibility?
Right, when
So
you recommended me to her,
I didn't recommend you to her.
Greg did.
Okay.
That was me, but they do have rules in place.
All right, I will be glad to go to a public space if it's too much trouble.
library, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no,
And
Thank you.
We'll get back.
Wait, before you.
Don't run.
Sorry. Yeah, don't run off. Yeah, and Jason brings up a good point, and I was going to suggest the same, because there's also town hall. That's just a unique, it's a somewhat unique situation, but that's the rationale behind it. We're not saying that it can't happen. I just need to get back.
Any space is fine with me, fit 20, 30 people, that's fine.
Okay, we'll see what we can do to support it. Great, okay, thank you. Okay, I move to go into executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property to comply with or act under the authority of the attorney-client privilege, and to consult with legal counsel and obtain legal advice pursuant to the attorney-client privilege, read Steamboat Wharf Marina lease, and we will not come back into open session. I'll need a roll call vote.
McCann, aye.
Gray, aye.
Yes, so if I.
McCarthy, aye.
Thank you. We are now in executive session.